Hey guys, welcome back to Tybee Time. I'm going to throw something together here that's a little bit unconventional. I'm actually in the middle of making a meatloaf, and I already do have a video showing how I make my meatloaf. But what I've got here in this pot, I made a French onion soup over the weekend, and I ended up straining out the onions. What I did, we've been eating it as soup for a couple days, but I just put a strainer over a pot and poured just the broth through, strained out the onions. Now I put half of the onions into the meatball mixture, or excuse me, the meatloaf mixture. And now I'm gonna thicken this up to make a really nice gravy. So I'll show you how I do that. Stay with me. Okay, so all I'm gonna do right now is I have the broth of this, like I said, it was a French onion soup, which is pretty much just beef broth, really enhanced with a lot of flavor because I caramelized onions for a long time. So all I'm gonna do with this beef broth is bring it up to temperature. I'm gonna get it nice and hot, and then we're gonna thicken it up. So stay with me. Okay guys, so here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna start heating up the broth that's in this pot. But what I'm gonna do before that is take a little bit of it out, just a little bit, almost 2 full spoonfuls or ladle, I guess ladlefuls. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside because we need that to be cold. When you make gravy, this has to be really, really hot, and what you add to it has to be really, really cold. Okay, so now this is not hot yet, but it's going to be, and then I'm gonna end up making a slurry with the gravy with the broth that I just took out. Okay, so I'm just going to get like 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, that's 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna wait and put that in to make a slurry. Okay guys, so I just dumped that 1/4 cup of flour into the broth that I took out. And I'm gonna stir this around, and I'm gonna get it all mixed together, nice and smooth. So you have to get all the lumps and all the lumps and bumps out. Let's get it all nice and smooth. And then we will add it to the pot on the stove. Okay, guys, so you see how this is starting to bubble? Nice and hot. And I have the broth that I had taken out and mixed in some flour. And now we're gonna incorporate the two, okay? That's all we're gonna do. Pour this into that, and hopefully it'll be thick enough. I'm one of those people that whenever I make gravy, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think it's thick enough. It usually is. I just always, I guess, panic. I'm always panicking. So let's let it go and just keep stirring and stirring and let it thicken. Okay, I'll come back in like a minute. How's that? Okay, so I'm back. It was only like away about 30 seconds. I'm one of those people that I have to wash out my bowl. I like to keep up on keeping clean and everything, you know. Up to snuff. I don't want to clean up after everything's cooked. I want it to be clean as we go. So all I'm going to do is continuously stir this. And watch it stir. And the bubbling you hear is I have potatoes boiling over there. But this, I have this on like a medium-high heat. And we're just going to continue to stir it. And it should thicken right up. You guys, I just want you to see, this has been boiling, a very low boil, for about 3 minutes. So don't get crazy like I do. I always panic. This is thickening. So don't think that you have to do something more to make it thicken. Just let it go. Let it boil. Continuously stir. It's going to be so good. Okay, guys, look. This is beautiful. It smells amazing. I have a meatloaf coming out of the oven, and this is going to go on top of the potatoes. Beautiful. Thanks for watching Tybee Time.